is Julia Garcia. I am an author, a speaker, and the founder of Trality.org, a true movement inspiring people to be true, the real you.
New author Julia Garcia recently moved from Phoenix to New York City to pursue her public speaking career and to promote her new book. Why did you create Truality?
I created Trality because I wanted to bring something tangible into the world that people could believe in. Something that was raw and it was real and you could relate to, and just something that I believe was true, because I've seen a lot of people and I've gone through a lot of things myself where people suffered and had to face adversity to the most extreme levels. And I wanted to bring something that we didn't have growing up, that I know I didn't have, or the people that I lost in my life, something that they could look up to and believe in. I think the big factor that influenced it was just the pain that I've seen people go through, either on a day-to-day basis or really dramatic things that happen to people or events that happen in my own personal life and within my personal family. I've met so many amazing people that their strong will just inspired me to do what I know I'm capable of. Trality first started in a scrappy little notebook that I carried around with me everywhere, and I had just ideas and ideas and ideas just scribbled on this paper of the concepts of what Trality would be. And then I started going to bookstores and spending like 10 hours a day of my senior year of college, and I would just research everything about any type of business, online business, nonprofit, you name it. I was researching it, taking my notes. And then I kept playing with the word true, TRU, and I couldn't get this word out of my head because it just meant so much to me. And TRU.com is taken by Toys R Us, so I couldn't buy them out. So me and some of my friends, including Sliwa and his wife, were just throwing around names. My sister and I were throwing around a million names a day. I was searching domains forever. And then I came up with Truality. And I thought, ding, 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 the best thing ever. So then I contacted some people, and Mike and Karen were like, dude, what about Truality? Because I was like, making truth a reality. That's what we're doing. That's what we believe in.
Trality combines motivational speaking with the creative arts, such as music, theater, and spoken word poetry.
It was honestly just trial and error. We got a group of people together, a group of amazing people from all different types of backgrounds. We just started doing the work. We asked a few schools if we could go in, and by word of mouth and by support of people who believed in us in the educational system, we were in schools like that. And just from the very first time we all got together and did a true event, there was just a chemistry that's indescribable, because our differences brought us together and it produced something so amazing, and we knew that it could potentially change so many lives. Right now, my focus is to be able to do this work on my own as well, because I wanted to start speaking about my own personal stories, and my own stories are a little more X-rated and can't be spoken about in high schools and middle schools. So the college market was perfect for me to be able to promote my book, which tells my personal story, and also be able for me to just have no limits to what I can discuss with people. So it was easier for me to do that on an individual level, with my full intentions of continuing to build Trality. And I'm trying to raise enough money to where I can make Trality a legit nonprofit organization where we can be represented in different states and where it can be self-sustaining.
What's the title of the book, and how I guess the book overall reinforces your message for Trality?
The book is called Somewhere in Between, and it's a true journey through sex, drugs, alcohol, and everything in between. It's a collection of my self-expressive photography, my journal entries, and my short stories that explain moments in my life that were monumental in affecting who I was as a person. And it deals with issues regarding divorce, addiction, death, sexual assaults, you name it, it covers it. And it's pretty much just my way of expressing things that I never could before, and was willing to share it with the public and allow people to kind of go through my dirty laundry. I wish I could have read something like that I could have related to. And so my hope is just that somebody can relate to it, and maybe it could help them overcome whatever it is that they're going through.
Where can people find the book, and when is it available to the general public?
The book is currently currently available to the general public through pre-sales. It's on every major retailer website, barnesandnobles.com, amazon.com, and it will be released on June 1st. And I'm so excited about that because one of my main goals in my life was to write a book before the age of 25, and I never actually thought it would happen, so 10 days before is okay by me. Yes, just this past weekend, actually, I spoke at one of the biggest conventions of the year. It's called the NACA National Convention, which is, I believe, the National Association of Campus Activities. Only a select few individuals in each industry, like the music industry, the speaking and lecture industry. There's a lot of magicians and just artists of all sorts, and hundreds and hundreds of people apply, very few get in. So I was so surprised to find out that I had the opportunity to be involved. It was an opportunity where I got to speak in front of thousands of different students from all over the country. When I speak to college campuses, I mainly speak about 3 different topics. I'm currently mainly speaking about, the program is called Sex, Drugs, Alcohol, and Everything in Between, and it's the true college life. And it pretty much takes you on my personal story of what I went through in my college experience, including, addictions and losing loved ones and being kicked out of my sports team in college and almost kicked out of school completely, and just all the crazy, drunken things that a college student could get into. The resistance I face with the faculty of whatever school I go to, especially in middle school and high school levels, you wouldn't think, but a lot of the faculty resist unifying the campus, especially in regards to racism and things of that nature. And when I meet that resistance, it reminds me of why I do what I do and why I need to do what I do. And that's something that has really, really affected me because I see how it affects the students. Being a female in this industry is tough, not only because you're perceived as a man-eater if you're diligent and hardworking and you dictate, and also because a lot of men in the industry think that they can take advantage of you, especially because of my age. And that's one of the main issues I bring to the table as soon as I come to a school or a class, is I make sure they know how old I am, and that I am a woman and I'm a strong woman, and you can't walk on me just because of that, because that's exactly what they're going to try and do.
Do you think it's more of an age issue, or does it really depend on the situation you're in?
I definitely think a lot of it has to do with my age, and it's my biggest asset and my biggest downfall, because people think that they can take advantage of me and I'm uneducated and yada, 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 but at the same time, I'm one of the most qualified people because I can relate to the students that I'm speaking to, and I get what they're saying on a personal level because I've recently experienced it. So my age is definitely an asset, but it can be a downfall if somebody tries to approach it in that manner.
If you had to sum things up in a sentence or two, what is it you hope Trality does for people in their lives?
I hope that Trality and everything that I do with my life, that it can bring hope to someone who, maybe is hopeless right now, maybe feels lost or alone or misunderstood. I want to just give people a voice or an opportunity to see things in a way that maybe they never would have before. I've never ever had an intention to change anybody, but my goal is just to plant that seed that inspires them to see things in a way that maybe they wouldn't have before, because I believe that life is all about your perception of it, and if I see someone and I perceive them in a negative way because of what they look like or their size or their color, that changes my entire experience as a human being. So I think it's so important that I'm educated in perceiving people in the world differently, because it will change your entire living experience. And I feel like the more people know about each other and how similar and how much we can really relate to each other and how much we all really just want to find happiness and purpose in life, I think when we find those interconnectedness that brings us all together, then you truly experience life in a level of peace and serenity that you just can't really explain. And I just would love to give people the opportunity to feel that and to see that. to be able to fulfill any potential that they have in a way that maybe they never thought was possible before.